Welcome to this week's episode. Inside this power-packed show, we feature 3 separate seasons and conditions. In segment 1, Chief Editor Josiah Winterhoff joins me for a scenic October muskie outing and some stained water minnow bait muskies. After that, we shift back to one of our key focus topics of the 2018 Bass Series, swim jigs. Finally, the dude Chaz Martin joins me once again in our featured muskie segment, and the subject is spying on cruiser muskies. All this and more coming up soon. Stick around for all the action.
Fishing with Joe Bucher is brought to you by Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen. Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard that changed everything. St. Croix, best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. Joe Bucher Outdoors, still #1 in big game fishing products. And by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Yeah, just put a fish back, my friends. Just gonna check everything here. We're fishing in early October, 55 to 58 degree water, depending upon where you're fishing this time of the year and the conditions. And I just caught a fish. And one of my main lures to fish, this is the first day the wind's been out of the northwest and we've got a cold front. It's been a warm, like a warm late September, early October, and here comes one of our first good cold fronts, and it's gonna get colder tomorrow, and then we're gonna even get some cold, icy rain. But this is one of my top baits for fishing this time of the year. It's a shallow rater, the original 7-inch, 7¼ shallow rater. And what I do with it this time of the year, by the way, I fish it on a flexible leader. You see I've got one of the fast attach snaps on here, which is my favorite snap on one of our premium leaders here. But it's the 7-strand model. And I fish it on 65-pound test. I fish it on a smaller reel, but a long rod. I'm fishing one of St. Croix's 9-foot medium heavy fasts, Legend Elites here. Now, what's cool about the way I fish this bait is that I combine it, I make it a jerkbait and crankbait. So I do 2 things. Most people either throw this out and crank it in, or they throw it out and they jerk it all the way boat, and they do these dead sticking and all this kind of stuff at both sides. I combine the 2, and I think it works better for me. I'll cast it out, jerk, let it rise, jerk, let it rise, jerk, jerk, let it rise, do a bunch of this bump and rise kind of stuff over the cover. Once I'm out of the cover, I turn it into a straight retrieve crankbait and I finish with a figure 8. Now, why would you do that? Well, I want the jerkbait action when I'm around the cover, but then I want the straight retrieve action so that it enhances the ability for me to catch fish at both sides. And when you combine the 2, you get the good both side strikes. You get a lot more strikes at both sides with the traditional retrieve and the figure 8, yet you still have the jerkbait action. And by the way, one last thing. Don't be afraid to pause the daylights out of your bait in the fall like this when the water starts to get cold, and create a lot more slack in your line so you get a more lateral movement, and you'll get a lot of those fish to hit. In fact, the fish you're about to see hit exactly like that on a slack line with a lot of lateral movement over cover. Fish. Got a muskie here, folks. Oh yeah. Got a muskie here, folks. Yep, got a muskie here. I got one. Come on up here, Josiah. Come on up here. We got a muskie. Go ahead. Pick the, there you go. Just leave him lay in the net. Good job, Josiah. Master cameraman, master landing net guy. We got a muskie already.
Way to
How
go.
about that? How about that, huh?
Not even an hour in.
So what we're doing here, folks, is my chief cameraman and videographer and editor and producer here. You're kind of the jack of all trades, but now you're also muskie fishing.
I guess so.
Well, I want to teach them how to muskie fish this fall. So after the season was kind of winding down, took Josiah out here on a beautiful fall trip. You can see the beautiful colors out here. We're having a great morning here. We just got started.
Yeah.
And just caught a muskie. And I will show you more about the technique here after I unhook the fish. But your maiden voyage, Josiah, at least I found out what they're hitting.
Yeah, look at them. A beauty.
Do you want to do me a favor? Get the toolbox.
Sure.
Big tools are essential, my friends. Long nose pliers are, especially with an offset handle like this, I think are essential. And keep the fish in the water and do as much of this as you can in the water. In the water is the key thing here. All right, so shallow rater, the new Cracker Jack Tiger pattern. All right. So, let the landing net and your tools do the job and the weight of the fish. So I'll grab a hold of this hook like this and just give it a little boom, right? And he's off. Now the fish is free. And take the fish out. Easy. Beautiful. We'll go right over the side of the boat with him. Back in the water. I'm going to take my other hand here so I can get the... Good, good. And in the water with you. And we'll be right back.
The official music sponsor of all Fishing with Joe Bucher episodes is Yeti.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Deep tree fish, deep trees. See, there's a fishing man-made fish cribs and sunken trees. And a lot of people all over the country, people do this, where they put structures in the water, cover obstructions in the water to attract fish so they can fish them off their docks. And they're panfish magnets. In fact, I'm gonna show you some footage here. Some panfish under these docks and stuff. It's unbelievable how many fish are there. But there's also some nice largemouths there too, huh? What do you think? So we're gonna fish today. Man-made sunken structure. So here we are, fishing with a St. Croix Bass X series rod. This is a 66 medium heavy fast. Got a Daiwa bait casting reel here, the Tatula 5.5 to 1 gear ratio reel. And I've got some of Beast Braid, Joe Bucher Outdoors Beast Braid on here in the green. We're fishing more of a green colored water, moss green. And on the business end here, I've got a Dirty Jigs swim jig here in that crawdad like bluegill. He calls it a bluegill pattern. You can call it a lot of different things. It's got everything in here that's very crawdaddy. And these fish are feeding on bait fish, feeding on crawdads, and it's a matter of just target fishing. And then one more thing, polarized glasses. I'm seeing the targets most of the time I'm fishing. I'm not actually looking at sonar as much as I am using my visual sonar. Let's go get another one. When you reel your jig up to about here, you can do this. Got that underhand alley-oop cast, and you can't do that with a 7.5 foot rod. You got to go to a pitch or a flip. And this old Jimmy Houston style cast is really a great way to fish these spots. See, just a little, when you're doing this dock fishing, it's just perfect, isn't it? It just works so nice for that kind of fishing. So you need a shorter rod. And really, a medium action works well too. A medium heavy gives you a little bit more backbone. Beautiful. A little more backbone. Yeah, baby. As Chaz Martin would say. Dude. See, what the medium heavy does is it gives you a little bit more boom when you set the hook with a weedless jig. You add braided line to that and you've got a super duper combination. Oh, that's a nice fish too, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, baby. All right. Oh, did that fish take it deep? That fish took it deep. Wow, big female, huh? Yeah, northern Wisconsin, quality bass. Yeah, you can see I net my fish. Frankly, I don't understand what's the deal with these tournaments with these guys not netting fish and just hauling them up and flopping them into the boat kind of thing. This is way better on the fish, way better on the angler. Yeah, let's go see if we can get another one. Big tree in the water here. Gotta be one fish in this sunken tree. Might be a man-made fish crib. Got lots of them in this one yesterday too. Got him. Yep. So there you go. There you go, my friends. Oh, good fish too, yep. Man-made fish cribs, sunken brush piles, logs. Folks kind of helping you out by trying to make their fishing better. They're making your fishing better. Yeah. I'll get a little net on this one here. There we go. So it's important to not only watch your sonar, but use this sonar right here, your eyes, your visual. Look for targets. Fish ahead of the boat and take advantage. When you see a dock with a lot of activity, you see stuff in the water there, this guy's probably an angler or that family is full of anglers. Hey, and I'll tell you what, tough to beat this jig, isn't it? Get yourself some of these dirty jigs. You're gonna catch some fish off of these docks and these sunken brush piles and these cribs. We'll be right back. We'll put you back.
This featured segment is brought to you by the Musky Shop.
Hey folks, welcome to our Musky segment. Chaz Martin and I, we're having this interesting trip, aren't we?
It really is.
Yeah, these fish that one guy pulls it up and the next guy catches it.
Well, so we got the beach thing going. We
Yeah.
got the solar bite going. And then like you said, in addition to that, it's this dual lure thing where one guy will have a fish follow in kind of lazy. The second angler throws in a cast back lure, seems to get a reaction out of the fish. And then you got this visual thing going on where you saw the muskie and then you got her coming in hot again.
It was amazing, folks. Chaz raised the fish on a glide raider, and it initially came in on my lure, maybe 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. And then it took off, and then Chaz did a cast back, which we've been having success with cast backs with glide baits. Here comes the fish, but real lazy, and then just starts to veer off, and I can actually see the fish veering off, and I threw a cast way out in front of it. Well, you'll see the video. And I throw a cast out in front of it, and just almost like you're sight fishing tarpon or bonefish, and just gunned that and heard that bait, that fish came, you know, fired that fish up. Sometimes it takes some other bait to fire the fish.
Well, and that's another thing to mention is that you read the fish's its attitude, and then you gunned your bucktail up to really trigger that strike.
How many times have we talked about that in the last 4 or 5 years about this bursting or gunning the bait?
Absolutely.
You know, it's one thing to just to throw it out and crank it in steady, or throw it out and crank it in steady fast. I think it's much more productive to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, yeah, because you could see that fish respond to the burst,
Yes.
and then she snuck up, and then you get her again.
Yes.
And you really got her going.
Yes, and it's the same thing with the figure eight. When I have the fish strike the figure eight, it isn't just a fast figure eight. It isn't just a slow figure eight. It's a bursting figure eight and then backing off, bursting and backing off, and the fish just comes up and overtakes the bait, and voila. And again, one last thing, watch the 9-foot rod, the softer action 9-foot rods, medium heavy, medium, 9-foot rods. The St. Croix Legend Elite, just, you own them.
Dude, that fish was peeling drag off
Yeah.
the side.
How about that Texas T, huh?
That was awesome.
This bait continues to be.
The 500 is just so good at triggering fish, and not just small fish.
No.
You have so many guys say, "Oh, really? We're gonna go after small?" It catches big muskies.
That was fun. That was a fun big fish to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Check it out, folks.
Got it rigged up. You know, these fish don't seem to really be responding to much else. They like little blades. Little blades thing is really working on them. You know? We'll see. But these 500s are sure getting them going, man. Let's see this thing.
Is it any better with the big hooks?
Nah. I don't know. Not much.
See, those fish, we're bringing those fish up, they're really very neutral fish.
Yeah.
Those aren't really cranked up fish, you know?
No. They're here though.
Yeah. Oh, there's fish.
See one.
Yeah. I thought he followed your bait in.
Did he? Nice. Nice. Nice, man. All right. Is that a different fish?
Take him, dude.
Go, trolling motor. All right. Pull him up to me. All right, we got her. Ah. Dude, nice job. Whew.
She followed in your jerkbait, dude.
Did she really?
Yes. Yes. I saw her out there, and I thought I saw a flash, and then I did see the flash. I saw her glance out over there. Remember I said, hey,
Yeah.
there she is. I saw her coming off your jerkbait, and I did the tarpon thing. I threw past her, and she went, came in on it.
That's awesome, man. Nice work.
There we go, my friends. Oh, what a beautiful fish, huh? Wow. I actually saw that fish. It chased Chaz's bait in. I saw it take off, and I threw a bait way out in front of it and gunned it, and saw what happened.
Nice. Nice. Nice, man. All right. nuts. Is that a different fish?
Bigger, dude.
Good. Go, trolling motor. All right. Pull him up to me. All right. We'll see you next week.
Fishing with Joe Bucher is brought to you by Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen. Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard that changed everything. St. Croix, best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. Joe Bucher Outdoors, still #1 in big game fishing products. And by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.